These types of diseases are mainly observed in the soft tissues around the joints, muscles, and sometimes in the joints. In these diseases, CRZC reactive protein ASO antistreptolysin, and RF rheumatoid factor in the blood. In some cases, CCP analysis, you need to look at the results and start treatment. Evaluate the effectiveness of treatment by monitoring these analyzers. As the amount of CRP in the blood increases, so does the pain. Inflammation of the soft tissue around the joint sometimes causes the tissue to harden first and then bend. As the disease worsens, the joints tingle more and more, the joints always feel cold, and the muscles continue to ache. Muscle rheumatism, fibromyalgia. Rheumatism is a disease that damages the tissues around the joints and muscles and can lead to heart defects if left untreated. In rheumatism, severe pain in the knees, ankles, and other joints is more common in the spring and fall. In fact, at this time recipes: oud turkey powder 400 grams, Garazira powder 400 grams. The herbs should be completely dried, ground in a coffee grinder, mixed together, poured into a salafan kulok and stored tightly. Each time you take this mixture weighing about 100 grams, you pour it into a glass jar that can be tightly closed. Take 1 teaspoon 3 times a day 1 hour before meals and drink 1 glass of water on top. Close the lid of the 100-gram powder mixture in a glass jar tightly so that it does not allow air to pass through the ether compounds. 400 grams of caraway powder, 100 grams of ginger powder, 100 grams of cardamom powder. The herbs should be in a completely dried form. Each time you take this mixture weighing about 100 grams, you pour it into a glass jar that can be tightly closed. Take 1 teaspoon in your mouth 50 minutes before meals 3 times a day and drink 1 glass of water. Close the lid of the 100-gram powder mixture in a glass jar tightly so that it does not allow air to pass through the ether compounds. Mix 300 grams of rosemary, 300 grams of dye, 3 tablespoons of water, mix 1 tablespoon each and infuse. Drink 1 glass 3 times a day 40 minutes before meals. 40 grams of black mustard powder, 70 grams of rose petals, 50 grams of propolis, 50 grams of pollen, 70 grams of laurel seeds, 1 kilogram of honey. Beta-hemolytic streptococci, which cause rheumatism in the most painful periods of the disease, multiply rapidly in the human body by destroying the outer sheath layers and aggravate the patient's condition. Ginger oil. Apply to sore joints every night and massage for 5 minutes. Hijama. Waist 5 around the knees, 3+3 around the ankles, 2+2 legs, 3+3. Hijama should be 2 times in 7 days. You can see more in my book on volume treatment. In rheumatism, you collect 4 to 5 ripe mulberries in the spring, wait for the smell of vinegar, then pour it on a large plate and sit on the plate for 30 to 40 minutes once a day. After standing, you are rinsed with water. It is very useful if you can do this treatment for 1 month. In the end, I reminded that this treatment should be done twice a year in spring and autumn for 3 years.